want it for? When do we want it? Now!
Family and friends march in downtown Lexington demanding justice for a murdered pregnant woman and her unborn baby. A Fayette County inmate out of jail on a furlough talks about the mix-up that led to him being mistakenly charged with escape. State leaders hope a new training center in eastern Kentucky will help put unemployed coal miners back to work with a new career.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening to you. Sam is off tonight. We have been tracking a few showers across the bluegrass tonight, and some cooler air is now moving in for your Thursday. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey and your no-wait weather forecast.
Amber, it's the first of several cold fronts that we have been advertising for the past several days. It is just now getting into far western Kentucky. Does not have a whole lot of moisture with it at all. You're going to see some scattered stuff as we go into later tonight and early tomorrow. A little light shower action trying to break out into parts of the Campbellsville area, Taylor County, Liberty, into Casey County. But as of now, it's a lot more in terms of just cloud cover across central and eastern Kentucky. So let's hit the fast forward button on your future radar hour by hour. And look what happens 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. You get in on some gusty showers by the trip into work and school, mainly just a light shower or two, but roads can be wet in a few cases by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. A lot of that stuff is already now pressing off to our east. So if you're out early tomorrow, gusty showers a possibility. Not a ton of rain. Noontime, some sun begins to break out into northern parts of the area. Still a lot of cloud cover. 60 to 65 coming up tomorrow afternoon. So much cooler winds that are blowing. We'll talk about that with a new hour-by-hour forecast and also take a look at the possibility for some rain as we get into your weekend. That new hour-by-hour updates the Saturday chances, especially when I come back at 11:13.
We will check in with you then, Chris. Thank you. Family members tell us she was due to give birth today. But last month, a pregnant Lexington woman and her unborn child died in a shooting. Police haven't made any arrests in the case. So tonight, Mariah Coleman's family, friends, and others in the community marched in downtown Lexington, hoping it helps bring them closer to justice. Monique Blair has our top story at 11.
What do we want? Justice!
October 12th, a special day marked on many calendars here in Lexington, the day Jacoby Jones was scheduled to enter the world. And as much as so many people were looking forward to Jacoby's birth, it was his mom, Mariah, who just couldn't wait to meet her first child.
She counted down the days till it was time for her baby to be born. This baby brought her life, and someone's stolen that from us.
So dozens of Mariah and Jacoby's friends and family members marched. They marched to remember, and they marched to demand the killer or someone who knows who the killer is to come forward.
Who we want it for? When do we want it? Now!
There should be more people here. My prayers is going to be for those who are not here.
Now, another purpose of this rally was to draw awareness to this petition that Mariah's mother has created. What she's asking for is for security cameras to be installed in the Winburn subdivision where criminal activity is known to occur. She's hoping she gets enough signatures that she will get the attention of Mayor Jim Gray.
We should not have to worry about being shot in cold blood in the street, doing everyday living activities.
And so while she does what she can to prevent this violent act from happening to yet another family, Mariah's mother will focus on the memories she did make in her daughter's short 22 years of life. In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Kentucky State Senator Reggie Thomas was also at the rally tonight. He addressed the crowd, saying he plans to advocate in the state legislature and address the issue of violence that Lexington is currently facing. New tonight, police are investigating what led to a crash that killed 3 people in Bell County. That crash happened late this afternoon on Highway 119, not far from Pineville. Police say an SUV crossed the center line of the road and hit a Toyota Camry head-on. They say both drivers and a passenger in one of the vehicles died in the crash. The names of the victims have not been released, but police say they were 2 men and a woman. A judge gave him a furlough because he says he had been commissioned to paint some art, but when an inmate's pass was extended, the Fayette County Detention Center didn't get the message. So last night, the jail mistakenly said he had escaped custody, and he says he wants to make sure it doesn't happen again. Sabira Rayford talks to the man new at 11.
For Isaac Moody, the scratchy sound of his pen rubbing against his paper gives him gratitude.
It has been a blessing that has traveled me well.
As a young adult, Moody says he was in and out of trouble. He says he's done some things he's not proud of, but that changed when he picked up his pen and started drawing portraits.
This has given my life meaning and purpose when at times the circumstances seem to imply that there isn't any meaning.
Recently, Moody got behind on child support payments, which landed him in jail. He says he got a job offer to draw a portrait. The judge let him out on furlough to do the job, but when he went back to get an extension to finish the project, that's when things got messy.
A close friend of mine's family member sent us the screenshot from a Facebook post or whatever from one of the local news stations, and of course my heart started beating immediately.
Moody's extension to finish his commissioned portrait had been approved by the judge, but jail officials say they didn't receive the paperwork showing he was allowed to be out of jail until Friday morning. So Tuesday night, an escape warrant was issued for Moody's arrest because the original furlough required him to get back in jail by that morning. And instead of looking at his artwork, people were looking at his mugshot.
I was talking to somebody on the phone after we got everything worked out, and they said, "How you feeling?" I was just like, I'm kind of sad, for real. It's been 2 days of, elevated heart rate and just drama unnecessary for myself, my friends, and my family.
Moody says he hasn't received an apology, but his hope is that the court will continue to allow him to do his portraits. In Lexington, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
Well, Fayette County Detention Center leaders say the escape charge has been dropped. They did not want to talk to us on camera today. New tonight, Governor Bevin and other state leaders have announced a new training center to help out-of-work coal miners in eastern Kentucky. The Haas East Kentucky Advanced Manufacturing Institute in Paintsville will welcome its first class in February. It will offer 16-week programs to train former coal miners to operate the Haas company's equipment. Haas is the largest machine tool builder in the Western world. One man says he took a similar training course elsewhere and now works for Lockheed Martin.
When you get laid off in the mines, currently right now, there's not a lot out there. And, it was a new opportunity for me, and the money is very comparable to mining. It's been a good thing for me and my family.
Organizers of the new training center say there are jobs available for people who complete the program within a reasonable driving distance of most towns in eastern Kentucky. Both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are dealing with issues off the campaign trail tonight. WikiLeaks released more emails it claims came from the accounts of Clinton's campaign chairman. And some women have now come forward claiming Trump touched them inappropriately years ago. Greg Boswell has the latest from both campaigns.
Donald Trump told supporters in Ocala, Florida, that ISIS is hoping and praying Hillary Clinton is elected president so it can take over the U.S.
The election of Hillary Clinton would lead, in my opinion, to the almost total destruction of our country as we know it.
At her Colorado rally, Clinton called Trump desperate.
They're going to use a, quote, scorched earth strategy. That's all they have left, pure negativity, pessimism.
WikiLeaks released another 1,900 emails it claims came from the account of Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta. The Clinton camp says Russia instigated the hack to benefit Trump.
They always blame Russia. And then they say Donald Trump is friends with Putin. I don't know Putin, folks, I promise.
Russian President Vladimir Putin questioned whether who did the hacking is really that important compared to the information that's contained within the leaks. On the heels of last week's release of a video where Trump is heard making lewd comments, there are new allegations of Trump having questionable interactions with women. A former Miss Arizona claims Trump walked in on Miss USA contestants in their dressing room while he owned the pageant. The New York Times also profiled 2 women who claimed Trump groped them decades ago. The Trump campaign called the article fiction and a character assassination. The New York Times has endorsed Clinton. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
Reports have also surfaced in Seattle and West Palm Beach regarding Trump's alleged behavior toward women. If state leaders don't make any changes by 2018, your state driver's license won't be enough to get you on board a plane. Reason why in 9 minutes. And then police have an alert for drivers tonight after they say a Good Samaritan was robbed and attacked along Interstate 64.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Hey, you want to see what a cold front looks like on a temperature map? We have got the classic fall front that is ready to blast into central and eastern Kentucky over the next 12 hours or so. It is over my shoulder. Let's take a look at it full here and check out the difference in the numbers. We go from the mid-60s to upper 60s into central Kentucky to the 50s, the 40s, the 30s. At one point today, Oklahoma City, I think that thermometer hasn't budged, by the way, in the past 6 or 7 hours. 6 o'clock, I believe it was 57 degrees there, and it was 91 in Dallas. That's cold front, and it is on the move across the Bluegrass State. But look at how the winds, they're not coming straight out of the Gulf of Mexico, so you're not getting that big influx of moisture from the Gulf ahead of this system. So you know what that means? The rains that are out there along that boundary are kind of puny, to say the least. You're getting a lot of clouds. We'll see some showers that try to pop up tonight and into the early part of tomorrow. So it's first half of tomorrow that you have a better chance of picking up on rain than certainly the second half. By the end of the day, things may be pretty darn nice. 60 to 65 by this time tomorrow night. Some of us into the upper 40s already. So a much cooler day. Brand new hour-by-hour forecast is in. Let's roll it and look at it. It's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think we'll have some showers when you're up tomorrow checking out the forecast with Micah. He's going to be tracking some of those rains across much of central and eastern Kentucky. And then as quickly as they start, they begin to pull on out of town. Noon tomorrow, a lot of low clouds are going to hang tough. So just be patient, because by 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, especially across I-64 north, some sunshine is going to be noted. But look at the stubborn clouds across the south. So the farther south and southeast you go tomorrow, the more the clouds are going to hang tough as we go through tomorrow evening. Temperatures drop. Friday morning, the numbers aren't as cold as what this same model was pointing to last night, because it tries to bring a little light rainmaker back in here tomorrow night and into Saturday. So we wake up Saturday morning, some showers are developing. I don't think this is kind of washout material at all. I do think we'll have some raindrops around Friday night into Saturday, so just plan any outdoor activities accordingly. But yeah, the potential is there for a shower or two around into the start of the weekend. Then again, on Sunday, I could see a little thunderstorm or two trying to pop and roll its way on into town. That'll be ahead of another cold front, one of several that will show up here. So we'll go day by day. Tomorrow, gusty showers, early, little afternoon sunshine. Mainly dry on Friday. Southern Kentucky got a chance for a late day shower. I do think we'll see some showers around, especially first half of our Saturday. Isolated rumble of thunder on Sunday, and that may carry us into Monday too. Windy on Tuesday, 76 degrees, mid and upper 70s. Then the bottom tries to fall out behind the next cold front that comes in Wednesday. It is a pattern that we know has been awfully dry, has been awfully calm since Labor Day.
Yeah.
And we're going to change it up over the next 2 or 3 weeks. So this is just the first of many fronts we're likely to track for the rest of October. And each of them will progressively get colder and colder.
Yes,
you know
we know what that means.
Will eventually lead us into.
That gets you very excited, I know.
It does. And for folks who like cold weather, I like where the pattern's going. Heading into November and December.
I can't get excited with you just yet.
There you go.
Chris, thank you,
All right.
I think. It opens next year, but Fayette County's new high school still doesn't have a name. How you can help choose one, that's in 8 minutes. Today, the federal government refused to give Kentucky another extension to update driver's licenses to comply with the Real ID Act. Unless the state makes changes to comply with the federal law by 2018, you won't be able to use a Kentucky driver's license to board a flight. State leaders say Kentucky's main problem is that the state does not have a centralized license issuing agency. County clerks issue driver's licenses. This year, Governor Bevin vetoed a bill that would have worked to bring the state into compliance, claiming there was a lot of public opposition and misunderstanding.
Some people were concerned that the Real ID Act represents the creation of a national identification card database, and that's just not the case.
Starting in January, you won't be able to use a Kentucky driver's license to get into places like nuclear power plants and some military facilities. Police have a warning for drivers tonight after they say a Good Samaritan was robbed and attacked along Interstate 64. It happened early this morning at an off-ramp at exit 53 in Franklin County. Frankfort police say the victim noticed two men waving at drivers as if they were stranded and needed help. When the driver stopped, police say the men stabbed him multiple times and robbed him before running off. They say the victim was not seriously injured. Police say you should call them if you see a stranded driver, but you don't feel comfortable stopping.
I definitely want our community and the public to help people. That's why I became a police officer. But again, use caution and use that common sense approach. If it doesn't look right, if something is absolutely out of sorts, you may not want to stop.
Police haven't made any arrests. They say the robbers were two black men, both at least 6 feet tall and one with a muscular build. They were in a silver pickup. New tonight, the embattled CEO of Wells Fargo has announced he is resigning effective immediately. John Stumpf spent the last 10 years as the bank's leader. He was criticized harshly for not doing enough to stop a scandal involving phony bank accounts. Regulators say Wells Fargo employees opened as many as 2 million fraudulent accounts without customers knowing to meet sales goals. In a statement, Stumpf said it was best he stepped down from the company. He also gave up his title as bank chairman. There's some new developments tonight in the case against a man police say abandoned dozens of horses in Mercer County. Charles Burrell entered an Alford plea to 9 counts of animal cruelty last month. Today, a hearing was held in the Mercer County Fiscal Court's lawsuit against Burrell. During that hearing, county leaders said they have not been able to find the rightful owners of nearly 40 of the abandoned horses, and they're looking for Burrell to give up his rights to the horses. First responders in Anderson County say you might want to think twice before buying a clown costume for Halloween. As you've probably heard, there has been a string of clown sightings and clown pranks around the country in recent months, including some here in Kentucky. So the Anderson County Sheriff's Office and Lawrenceburg Police have this message for Halloween shoppers.
We want parents and kids just to be mindful when they pick out their costumes this year that maybe they might not want to go with a clown costume. You know, if they do, that's fine. We're not telling them they can't, but it's just something to keep in mind.
Well, the sheriff also discourages people from dressing up as clowns as a prank because many people have been scared by those clown sightings. Fayette County school leaders need a name for Lexington's new public high school, and they're asking for your help. The school is now under construction off Winchester Road near Hamburg. It is scheduled to open next August. Fayette County school leaders are now accepting suggested names for the new school, and they want volunteers to serve on the naming committee. If you are interested in either, we have information for you. Just go to WKYT.com. You have until October 28th to suggest a name. Just ahead, Derek Willis is coming off a breakthrough season.
He is, and now he wants to keep it going in his senior year. We'll hear from Willis and Denzel Ware on all the heat the Cats caught early on in the season and how they responded to it. Stay with us. Sports is next. Derek Willis returning for his senior season at Kentucky, and he says he has put his off-season arrest on an alcohol-related charge behind him. Last season, Willis proved he could help the Cats win, coming into the lineup and opening up the floor. Other big men have now arrived who will compete for playing time, but Willis understands.
It's just how it is, you know. Every year you're going to have new players come in and players are going to leave, so it's nothing new to me. I know what kind of player I am. I know what I bring to the table and what I need to work on. So I think what helps me out is being a seasoned veteran and understand the expectations already of what I need to do and how a lot of the things are going to play out during the season.
And Big Blue Madness is coming up Friday. We will get you ready on the CW Lexington Countdown to Madness with Dave Baker and Christy Thomas. 90-minute preview of this year's Wildcats. Kentucky has been an improved football team over the last 3 weeks, and defensive end Denzel Ware has had a lot to do with it. The Cats took a ton of criticism the way it all started. They did not like it. They wanted to show everybody they can compete.
And, you know, just getting beat like that, and then next following week we have, you know, one of the best commentators for college football talk down on us. You know, I heard the disrespect from them calling us a JUCO team, you know. So after hearing all that stuff and hearing what people were saying about us and, you know, hearing like people losing faith in us, like saying that we can't compete in this league, you know, it really ticked us off, and it really made us to a point where we pushed ourselves to become a better defense, become a better team, because we can compete in this league, and we just here to show people that we can compete.
Benny Snell, a freshman out of Westerville, Ohio, has come into the UK program and made an impact. He is a bruising runner. Offensive coordinator Eddie Grand went to watch him play in high school, but he did not see Snell play football.
Well, I got to go watch him play basketball. And after I went and watched him, what you saw on film was you just said, gosh, this guy makes a lot of yards. And when I got to see him play basketball, you could see his explosiveness in gym shorts and how he played defense and his tenacity. And that's what I liked. I watched him, and I like to see how they compete in another sport.
Did he run anybody over in basketball?
No, he did. He bangs in there, though. But I loved his competition. But yeah, he was throwing some chicken wings and getting after it.
And Mark Stoops updating the status of Matt Elam and Drew Barker today. Stoops said he expects Elam back for the Mississippi State game as long as there are no setbacks. Elam did not play Saturday against Vandy. As for Barker, Stoops said he's being evaluated every day. He said caution is being taken with his rehab. No plans to play him against Mississippi State, and he remains week to week. It was reported today that baseball coach John Cohen will be the next athletic director at Mississippi State. Although the school's president denied the report, he said no decision has been made. Cohen, of course, is a former UK baseball coach. He led the Cats to the 2006 SEC championship. And at Keeneland this afternoon, the running of the Grade 3 J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes. These are 2-year-old fillies on turf. Lull on the lead coming down the stretch, but La Coronelle takes off, draws away to win it by 4.5 lengths. Florent Giroux, the winning rider, and the victory earning La Coronelle a berth in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. That will be at Santa Anita on November the 4th. We'll be right back.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is less than a minute away here on WKYT. Tonight's guests include Jessica Alba. All right, tomorrow a little bit of a mixed bag for us, right?
Yeah, it's going to start off cloudy. You'll have a shower or two in the morning, and there's the cold front that is just to our west. Winds coming in behind that are screaming from the northwest. You got a 20 or 30 degree temperature drop on the backside of that front, so tomorrow's going to be a lot cooler than where we've been. Highs in the 60s, though some improvement in the sky late afternoon.
All right, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We will see you back here tomorrow. Have a good one.